So I heard about what had happened with TNA star Davey Richards, who apparently broke his leg at a TNA live event in Indiana this past Friday. Richards has revealed that a 4 to 6 week time frame will be needed for his recovery. He said this on his Twitter account. Hearing this type of shit really infuriates me big time, because what's really infuriating me big time on this, folks, it's time for a RCWR show spotlight, is the fact that here is this young man, a Ring of Honor alumni, who was a Ring of Honor champion for the promotion, multi-type tag champion and all that. Here's this young man, was in a position where WWE could have signed him. WWE passed on him. They also passed on his tag partner, Eddie Edwards. Hey, what was one's loss was another company's gain. In this case, TNA Wrestling. TNA Wrestling has been doing a very good job in putting the Wolves in a position where they're dominant. You see them on television regularly, weekly. Love that. Then you've got these little small house shows, right? Where, ouch, my knee hit that one big time. No, but then you have these little house shows where there's only like about maybe 50 to about maybe 80 people that will show up. And these venues that's being booked, I mean, my God, it should be fitting like anywhere between 3 to 800 people, but they're not even able to bring in the triple digit numbers. Anytime they are able to get into the triple digits, 9 times out of 10, 80% of the people that's there are actually part of the stadium. They're employees of the stadium, and they just came with their families and all that other good stuff, trying to help make TNA Wrestling look good and everything. But no matter how you cut it, some of these live event shows are disasters as far as the attendance goes. Here you have this young man that's busting his ass, trying to do nothing but entertain the fans, and he gets messed up as a result. Now, some people may be looking at this, maybe they may say to me straight up, Lee, I think you're being a little bit too critical. I think you need to loosen up on this one. No, I'm not going to loosen up on this one, for the simple fact that when you have poor attendance numbers like what TNA does with these house shows, hey, they do good in New York City, but you know what? If they're going to keep going out there on a more consistent basis, on a monthly basis, that's going to be a telling tale, because no longer are you treating it like it's a rare dessert that you get to have once every couple of months or once a year or whatever. Now you're talking about possibly a situation where you're going to be getting it every single month for a couple of weeks. You're really testing the fans right there. And if it is going to play out that way, then we're going to see how they're truly doing as far as attendance goes. But for these New York shows, these first 2 go-rounds, phenomenally well. Great attendance. These other live event shows that they're doing, not doing too well. What I don't understand is, for these live event shows that's only drawing under 100 people, why are you having the guys that are supposed to be on television be put in these positions where they're risking injury? I don't think it's worth it. If I'm a promoter, and I'm actually gonna try to pitch this to Titus, I'll probably talk to him about this maybe off air. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if maybe we could talk about it live on the air next go round. But I'm just trying to use my own common sense. If I were a promoter, if I were a booker, and I have a couple of main event matches that's going on, I have a nice card that I would like to do, but I'm seeing the number of people that's going to be showing up, I'm actually going to be like, okay, you know what? Really thinking about it, we didn't advertise who all was going to be coming to this event. Furthermore, the attendance is a little bit piss poor. I think we should kind of loosen it up a little bit. Let's switch up the card. Let's go with some people we normally don't go to just to test them out, see how they're doing and everything. See if They can get a little bit of ring rust out or whatever. I mean, this is the second injury that I have heard in like under 3 weeks, because the last injury that I heard had to do with Rebby Sky, if I'm not mistaken. Rebby Sky had got injured, and that was being described as hell, she had no business being in the ring. That's exactly what I had heard. This girl had wrestled in OVW for a couple of TV tapings. No, not Rebby Sky. Rebel. I think Rebel is her name. I don't mean Rebby Sky as in Matt Hardy's girlfriend. This girl apparently had injured herself as she had fractured her arm after taking a nasty bump at a recent New York City taping. It was a battle royal match in which she had landed on the top of the steps, or somewhere around the steps. Now, we aren't going to be seeing this spot unless TNA does a really good job of editing it, but we're not going to be seeing this probably until maybe mid-September. Again, she had been doing a little bit of in-ring training at OVW, but that still just really was not enough. Now, what she did leading up to this was a mixed tag match in the earlier tapings. She worked against Velvet Sky, and it was said to require a lot of editing before it could go out on TV. I am, according to the notes that I took from this story, it looks like that episode is going to be airing on September 25th. September 25th. So that's probably a Thursday. You actually want to go a day forward. So if they're saying September 25th, that's now probably going to be Wednesday, September 24th. But a lot of people giving bad reviews for her wrestling, feel that she has no business being in the ring right now. So, I mean, if you got this girl in this type of a position, and then you follow that up with one of the Wolves and Davey Richards. And let's get back to Davey Richards. And let's just get back to wrestlers, period, when it comes to these shows. TNA, whoever it is that handles the booking, there needs to be a better job at protecting the wrestlers, especially at these live event shows. Okay? Especially at these live event shows. Rebby Sky, I keep saying Rebby Sky, Rebel, damn it, Rebel, David Bowie's song, that's how I'll be able to remember her. Rebel definitely needs to give in additional training. I don't think she should be wrestling for the TNA promotion, not until she has definitely proven to the powers that be that she is more than capable, more than ready of being able to take on some in-ring action. What went down with Davey Richards, it's very sad, it's very unfortunate, it's very frustrating to hear that. It's very frustrating to hear that this had happened at a TNA house show in Indiana or wherever the fuck it was, because for me personally, when you have such a low attendance and all that, and it's like, wow, this guy got injured in front of like 50 freaking people and all, I don't think this man had any business being in the ring to begin with. Now, granted, maybe this injury might have happened with his injury at a New York City taping. Hey, we'll never know. What I will say that it really does not help these wrestlers being put in these positions where they're doing all these house shows for the TNA promotion, and then they're also making appearances on the indie circuit, trying to make sure that they bring in some more extra revenue, because there's only but so much they're going to be able to get from TNA Wrestling, because let's not forget, TNA Wrestling, the way that they have it set up now, they're paying wrestlers per appearance. So, and the payout is kind of messed up when you hear it, because for a TNA wrestler that, for example, does two unique shows for Impact Wrestling, they aren't going to get paid twice. They're going to get paid once for those two shows. So TNA is making a little bit of extra money by putting it to good use in other areas with the way that they're paying out some of these wrestlers. I mean, you gotta show better dedication and better loyalty and better support to these wrestlers that's trying to do everything they can to support the brand represent the TNA fans, you got to make sure that you protect them very well. Otherwise, that's how you create a hostile environment where next thing you know, they're going to want a release from their contract. They're going to want to go elsewhere. That's just my opinion on that. I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you feel I'm on to something right here? Does TNA need to implement a new philosophy when it comes to these TNA house shows that they do that's not really drawing that good of an attendance? Do you feel that if they're going to continue to do these type of events that they need to downgrade on the type of talent that they're using? Like maybe they should go with people that they hardly ever use? Should they just maybe, instead of going with about maybe 5 matches, should they maybe just go with 3 matches? Make it be very long, have some really good intermissions in between, maybe reach out to old TNA alumni, or reach out to wrestlers that maybe aren't under any type of a wrestling contract, like maybe a Superfly Jimmy Snuka or Lex Luger, to come in, do some really good autograph signings and on it. Do you think maybe they should look into implementing something of that nature to make up for not doing an additional 1 or 2 matches? Definitely find us out. We'll have this be an excerpt on our YouTube channel. You can comment there. You can also comment on Twitter at the RCWR Show or Facebook at Infinity One Productions. But I'm definitely curious what you guys think with regards to this. But hey, I wish for Davey Richards to most certainly have a speedy recovery.